What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Will Motivation, and today I'm actually answering a subscriber's request. And he asked me, how do you calculate your monthly return on investment for a rental property? Yo, what's up? It's your boy Will Motivation, and today we're talking about my advice on the #1 way for you to get started investing in real estate. So I'm going to give you two bits of investment advice or knowledge, and one will be calculating your monthly return on investment, and then the other will be calculating your annual return on investment for a rental property. So let's start out with calculating your monthly return on investment. So basically what you have to do is, for each property that you own or rent out, you got to keep track of what your monthly expenses are. So I'm going to write down the most common or typical monthly expenses, and then we'll give an example of how you would calculate your monthly ROI. So the first one, and I'll just kind of write it on this side here. The first one would be your mortgage. So your mortgage is how much you pay the bank every month. And then the second one would be your taxes, your property taxes. So how much you have, and usually property taxes are an annual amount, but you can break it down into a monthly amount in order to calculate your monthly return on investment. So your property taxes, then after property taxes, you got to pay insurance on that property every year. So break down that insurance into a monthly rate. So you got your insurance. What else do you have? So do you have a property manager? If you have a property manager, calculate that. So your property management expense. After property management, what other expenses do you have? You might have a homeowners association. So we'll put HOA. So typically, if you bought and are renting out a condo, there's almost always homeowners insurance or not insurance, but homeowners associations or condo fees. So that's what that would be. You break it down to a monthly amount. And let's see, I got my little cheat sheet here. So this is a printout from the property management software that I created, that I use to manage my property. And so basically it has all of my properties and the balance that I owe on the property, the monthly mortgage, the monthly taxes, the monthly insurance, the monthly HOA fees, the monthly management fees, if any, and your gross rental income. So what you want to do, so those are going to be your typical monthly expenses. Now sometimes you have unexpected expenses, but for the sake of calculating the monthly ROI, we're going to leave that out because we don't know what those expenses are, and hopefully they'll be zero. But once you have those monthly expenses, then what you want as your gross is your gross rental income. So gross rental income. Okay? And then, so what you do is add up all of these expenses and subtract them from your gross rental income. So let's say, I'll give you guys an example of a property here that I have, $12.95. Okay, so my rent is $1,295 a month, right? But let's look at the expenses for that one. In that particular property, my mortgage is zero, but I'm just going to give you guys an example because typically you're going to have mortgages unless you're buying your properties for cash. So we'll just say the mortgage, to keep it simple, the mortgage is $100 a month. All right. Taxes. Now you're always going to have taxes. So what are my taxes on that one? $185 a month. 185. You're always going to have insurance. So what's my insurance on that one? $50 a month. What are my property management fees? I don't really, if you can manage a property, I suggest that you do it, even if it's a little bit inconvenient. So I typically do not have property management fees, and in this case, I'm gonna put 0. Now, if you did have property management fees, you list them there. Like it's usually 10% or something like that. Now, what's the HOA fees? In this neighborhood where I have this house, there's 0 HOA fees. But if you had them, you would add that too. So look, we're just gonna put 0. So basically, add up all your expenses. Let me make that clear. These are expenses, right? So let's add them up. Mortgage plus taxes, $285 plus insurance. That's $335 plus property management HOA. That gives a total expenses for this property at $335. So we'll just put that over here. Okay. Now you add up your expenses. Pretty simple. You add up your expenses, subtract those expenses from your gross rental income. So I'm making $1,295 a month. We're going to subtract $335. 12 minus 3 is 9. So my net rental income for this property is $960. So that's net rental income. And that is $960. All right. So in order to calculate your monthly return on investment, is basically a ratio between your gross and your net. So you basically divide your net, 960, divided by your gross, 1295, and then multiply that times 100. And that will be your monthly ROI. So let's do that real quick. Got a calculator. So $960 a month that I'm making, divided by my gross, which is $1295, and then multiply that times 100 equals monthly ROI of 74%. So that's pretty simple. So you basically take your net divided by your gross, multiply that times 100, and that will give you your monthly return on investment. Okay, monthly return on investment. All right. Now, if you want to calculate your annual, you need excuse me, you need some different numbers.
Sí, es la única llave que me falta aquí.
Okay. So, in order to calculate your annual return on investment, you're going to be looking at some different numbers. So basically, it's just like if you invested $10,000 in the stock market, and then at the end of that 12-month period, you made 10% on that $10,000, and you made $1,000, right? Well, with real estate, you can do the same thing. So how much money did you put into that real estate investment? So that will be, if you paid cash, you would use the cash number. If you made a down payment and you have a mortgage from the bank that you're borrowing, you would use the down payment number. And then also, if you had to put money into that investment to rehab it, you would also include that number. So in this example that I used earlier with one of my rental properties, well, plenty of my rental properties, you have your down payment money. I paid cash for that property, so the numbers would be a little bit different. We could use that as an example, but more typically you would have a loan. So how much money did you put down? So let's say, for example, you put down $20,000. So $20,000, and let's say it took $10,000 to rehab the house. So you put down $10K, and so your total investment is $30,000, right? So let's say that's your total investment in the property. To calculate your annual return on that $30,000 investment, you basically add up 12 months of net rental income. So for that example we used earlier, our net was $960 a month. So 960 times 12 equals, pull out my calculator, 960 times 12 months equals 11,520. 11,520. Okay, so take your net income, 11,520, divided by the total amount invested. So for the sake of example, we're saying we put down 20,000 and we rehab with 10,000 with a total investment of 30,000. So you use that as the denominator here, 30,000 invested, and you get, so 11,520 divided by 30,000. And then you multiply that times 100. So that would equal 0.38 times 100 is 38% annual return on investment. So in this example, it will be 38% annual return on investment if you invested 30,000 and you made 11,520. Then your annual return on investment will be 38%, which is damn good. Now, in that actual example of that property, my annual return on investment is actually 18%. So I pay cash for the house and I'm getting an 18% return on it. I'm happy with that. Okay. All right, so hopefully that was helpful, talking about calculating your monthly return on investment on a rental property and your annual return on investment for a rental property. My name is Will Motivation. Follow my channel if you like hot cars, Lamborghinis, if you like nice cribs, if you like making money and investing. My channel tries to help you do that. Also, I'm trying to hit 50,000 subscribers on YouTube by the end of the first quarter, so by April. So if you would subscribe, I really appreciate it. And my Instagram is just struggling to get started. So if you want to be nice and subscribe to my Instagram, you can get me at Will Motivation on Instagram. So appreciate you guys watching this video and stay tuned for the next one. Holla. Hey, I just wanted to say thanks for watching today's video. There's a lot more to come. Hit that like button for me and subscribe to my channel. A lot of you guys have been asking me about when is my online course going to be ready. Well, I have good news for you. My online course is completed. I'll put a link in the description of this video where you can click on that link and get a 40% discount off the course. That'll be for the first 50 students. So if you're ready to take the online course that I've basically laid out everything that I know about how to invest in real estate, click the link below or just go to www.willmotivation.com/invest. And thank you guys for taking the time out to watch today's video. Hope you learned something, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.